Hey everyone, Ryan here, or M&R Productions, and it's official. We have 6 LEGO Star Wars sets releasing on January 1st of 2025, and it's quite refreshing because it's the most sets that we've had for a LEGO Star Wars January lineup in a few years. Now, we're going to go through all the details on all 6 sets from cheapest to most expensive, and a few of these are available for pre-order on LEGO.com, so I'll have my affiliate link in the description below if you want to pre-order the ones that are specifically available for pre-order. There's no rhyme or reason as to which ones are and which ones aren't. I'll never understand it, but let's dive into it with our first set, which is not available for pre-order, the 4 Plus Mandalorian and Grogu's N1 Starfighter. This is a 92-piece set that's going to sell for $30, and it's got 3 figures with the Mandalorian, and it's the best version of the Beskar Mandalorian, so it's pretty cool to see that in a 4 Plus set. You've also got Grogu, and you've got R5-D4. R5-D4, I think, for many people will be the highlight, will be the reason they might actually go out and pick up this set, or at the very least, it's the one figure that they'll pick up from a seller on Whatnot. Hold on, I think the other N1 Starfighter is still not retired. It's not! Oh my god. The fact that this tiny set costs half as much as the larger N1 Starfighter that has over 4 times as many pieces should be a crime. The price is actually insane when you look at it through that lens of value. And I think LEGO knows this set is ridiculously priced, but when grandma goes out for Christmas or birthdays for her grandson and tries to buy the set that's for the age range, 4, 5, 6 years old, and this one's only $30, and it's from that show that has the cute baby Yoda character, she's gonna buy it for him. I think this set is still gonna do absolute numbers, especially with the new Mandalorian season. I think the movie on the horizon, like, it's just gonna kill it no matter what. The saving grace with this price on the set is that there are printed pieces. It certainly doesn't redeem it wholly, but there's no stickers, so at least for the money, it's printed. As of now, I still stand by what I said when I first saw the N1 build. I think it is the worst Juniors or 4 Plus LEGO Star Wars set that we have had to date, or worst looking, maybe not worst package, I don't know. But I didn't think it looked that great is the point, and I think for many people, this should be a pass. Moving on, though, the next cheapest set in the January wave is $45. Oh, that's actually crazy. It used to be. This used to be like the second most expensive price bracket in like 2010. Anyway, Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor here, 290 pieces. Again, $45, just absolutely insane. Remove price per piece from the equation, just comparing this set to other Jedi Interceptors of recent years, like, it's insanely priced. So we've got 3 figures. You got Anakin, you've got Ahsoka, you've got our astromech droid, and I forgot to do this with R4, but someone DM'd me on Instagram and said that they used the 360-degree spin feature to see on LEGO.com that none of the astromech droids have backprinting that, of course, aren't in R2-D2, because R2-D2 is the only one that gets backprinting for some reason. So yeah, even though they have jacked up the price on a set like this, they can't do the, like, bare minimum levels of quality that they're meeting on some other sets. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So that's completely out of the window there. You do have a nice enough Ahsoka minifigure, which I believe does have a new Leku piece that's a little bit smaller than the one from the Clone Wars or the Ahsoka show. Now, the biggest change on this set, other than, of course, the color scheme compared to recent Jedi Interceptors, is going to be that windscreen canopy cockpit piece. It's a completely new piece from what I can tell. The shape of it, I think, just looks a little bit better than what we saw from previous iterations, but I don't love that it's not a smooth transition from that windscreen piece to the back end of the cockpit area. Also, the box is, once again, as always, misleading. It's a render. They make the print for the windscreen look much cleaner, and like it actually matches the white bricks. It's going to be that faded looking white that we always see, so don't get caught up in that. And of course, this set is littered with stickers, no printed parts other than, of course, that cockpit piece and the figures, but that goes without saying. So Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor, I think, is a pretty good set. It's just $45 is absolutely mind-numbingly insane for the pricing on this set. Next up, coming in at $50, we have the midi-scale Acclamator class assault ship. This one is available for pre-order, so if you did want to spend too much money on this, use my affiliate link in the description below. But yeah, as I said, when the pictures got leaked for this one, it's small. It still feels small. 450 pieces for $50 isn't bad as far as price per piece is concerned, but when the ship is barely larger than the stand, you've got a bit of an issue. And I still wish this was a Venator for the Revenge of the Sith anniversary, but at the same time, the Acclamator is also like a great midi-scale choice. I just felt like it would have been more fitting maybe for a couple years from now for Attack of the Clones anniversary. But yeah, it looks nice. And actually, now that we have these full LEGO.com pictures, let's investigate stickers or printed. So of course the display plaque is printed. Those are printed on all of these types of sets, but the parts on top, as I'm actually looking at it a bit closer here in the best quality images in hand we have, it looks like it's actually a sticker and not printed. And it's very hard to tell because they, I think, almost purposefully maybe show it in a way where it's hard to tell if it's a sticker or a print, where the closest part to you is blurry. But if we look at this top part here, you basically see two lines where if it were a print, there would only be the one line of the parts going between the brick. So I'm fairly certain that that is actually a sticker. I think the first time I saw it, I thought it was printed. Also available for pre-order is the MIDI scale Home One Star Cruiser. This one is $70 with 559 pieces. It might be more overpriced than the Acclimator. I just liken this to last year's Invisible Hand, where that set was $50, and it looks like it's maybe about the same size, just a little bit thicker, and it just feels like it's too much money for what you're getting. But the build is immaculate looking. It's the first time they've ever made the Home One Star Cruiser as the ship, and so I think they did a great job getting a lot of the curves correct, or as close to correct as you can at this scale for the ship. They included a micro version of the Nebulon B frigate, which I think technically makes that the second version of a MIDI scale Nebulon B frigate. For those of you who missed out on the last one or had your order canceled, you know, good times there with Lego. But with this one, I don't think we're going to have any stickers because we just have that printed plaque and there's no other details that require any sort of sticker or prints on this build. The inside of it, I think, is really dope. We saw this Easter egg a week ago, but you've got the Admiral Akbar at the front, you've got the A-Wing in the middle, and at the back, you've got Hera and R2, all with that blue color, which makes it look like you're looking into the hangar bay. $70 is an absolute ripoff for this set, assuming I'm not like completely off base on like the size of it, but it looks like it's as big as our next set's like middle area, being the Arc 170. And it's $70 with 497 pieces. And of course, I just made a video on this whole set yesterday. This one, unfortunately, is not available for pre-order. It probably won't be. It'll just come out on January 1st. But this set, as I was reading through a lot of the comments from yesterday, a lot of people were saying they think it's ridiculously overpriced too. Compared to some of the other things like Ahsoka's Interceptor and the Home One Star Cruiser, I just don't see this set as egregiously overpriced like the others. I feel like you can say everything's $5 or $10 too much, but I feel like in the modern market of inflated Lego Star Wars set prices, this is pretty reasonable. At the same time, while I was driving around town today, I thought to myself that this would have been a $50 set if it came out in 2019, and that made me kind of sad. But yeah, I think they did a really good job with this set overall as a downscaled Arc 170. I don't think it's better than 2010. It might maybe be better than 2005, but that's also 20 years ago, so you got to give it that. But 2010, like, just looks so good. It's got the size to it. This one's definitely gonna feel a little small in a few places when you put it next to this. If you don't have that point of comparison, if you're a newer fan that didn't get the older versions, I think you're still gonna be very happy with this. What I ended up saying to a few people replying to comments and on Twitter and such is that this set is probably not as good as this one, but it's not as bad of a downscale as some of the other downscales we've seen, like that 2021 TIE Fighter. Going from that Han Solo movie TIE Fighter to the 2021 TIE Fighter was brutal. This just doesn't feel like it's as brutal of a downgrade as some of the other sets. Like, it's weird to say that the best aspect of this set is that it wasn't a terrible downgrade like some of the other sets, but it almost kind of is. Like, I don't have any super strong feelings about it one way or the other. It's not the best set ever, and it's not the worst set ever. It's somewhere in the middle, but I will say the box art on this set might be some top Lego Star Wars box art ever. We'll ignore the 332nd and them doing that wrong for the second time just because the set has Clone Troopers, but it's still a Skywalker Saga set, so I don't know what they're doing. But like, the Cato Nemoidia with Plo Koon Starfighter, the angle that they have the Arc 170 at on this box, it's just killer. They knocked it out of the park with that. I think that's amazing. And, you know, I got a little off track on this set. We've got the figures in this set, which are also really great. You've got Captain Jag, you've got Oddball, and you've got a regular clone pilot, plus you've got R4P44 as your astromech droid. I just think the minifigures look great, and after a few years of really bad Clone Trooper minifigs, it's so refreshing to see for me, man. It feels so good to have some good Clone Troopers. Now, this of course doesn't fix the issues that we're having with some of the other figures, but it's nice and refreshing, I'll tell you that. The one issue with these, and it's really nitpicking, is that they don't have dual molded legs. And really, they just should. I mean, you're asking so much money for all of these sets every time. And they always have the same answer. Like, if you ever see like a Lego ambassador interview the designers about this sort of stuff, it's always, well, we didn't have enough money. And I don't know. It's a lame answer that they give every time. And I'm just like, find an extra 30 cents laying on the ground outside in the parking lot. I don't know what else to say. Like, just make it happen, man. You could have, like, if these sets had dual molded legs, that's it. Like I said yesterday, I think it's basically a 9 out of 10 on the figures, and dual molded legs isn't necessarily the standard, so I don't try to hold it to that, but you see opportunities like this. You see opportunities like in the Tantive hallway, where if you give those Rebel Troopers those dual molded legs, it just brings it to the next level, and that's what Lego Star Wars is missing in certain cases with certain sets. Like, there's small things that would just make people not be able to be like, well, for $70, yeah, it's got dual molded legs. Of course it does. It's a expensive set. But now it's like overpriced, and half the people don't like that it's so expensive and it doesn't have dual molded legs, and you just could avoid all of that for an extra 30 cents of budget. Now, as far as everything you need to know about the ARC 170 ship, everything on there is going to be a sticker except for the one control panel in the middle. Thanks to y'all's comments, I think it's a Lego City airplane piece, but it's printed, so nice, I guess. And when it comes to the like overall looks of this ARC 170, it is a bit blockier looking, I think, than the previous versions, but not in like a horrible, bad way. The engine intake looks better. The one part of the ARC 170 I wish was done differently is definitely the cannons on the end of the wings. I think just having the one bottom cannon and missing the top cannon so that they can have a spring-loaded shooter just doesn't look as good. Obviously, also not as accurate. And the brown piece on the end, I don't know. I tried to look it up. I couldn't figure out. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments, but the brown piece on the tip, I didn't notice it until later, but like, it's super off looking to me. The previous versions, of course, had black on the very tip there, so I don't know what the deal with brown there is. I just think it looks weird. Obviously super easy to replace, but I'm commenting and reviewing sets based on what comes in the box and how it comes in the box, so brown to me is weird as it comes in the box. I almost forgot to utilize the 360-degree view to see R4P44 does not have back printing, so that is Strike 3. You're out of here. I can't believe Lego Star Wars just struck out on Astromech Droid back printings for 2025. Yes, I can. Who am I kidding? Our final set is the most expensive set for January of 2025, the $100 Grogu with hover pram. It's available for pre-order, link in the description below, but this one has 1,048 pieces for the $100. Seems to be the best bang for your buck. As I mentioned in the first video talking about this guy, he's just so cute. Even though he's downscaled, they somehow still made him look amazing. The one thing I forgot to mention is that I love that they were able to integrate a little bit more light tan on like the neck area, and then on the sleeve. Like, I feel like that is a way better look as well, because the old Grogu was just all dark tan for his outfit. So this one's a little bit more lively there as well. And they've also worked in some Technic insides to Grogu so that you can make his arms move like a robot, I guess. And his head also moves and swivels, does all the fun stuff. You've got the display plaque. You've got Grogu on a very tiny pram. You've got some very fun accessories for Grogu as well. And then the big pram, which also somehow looks so incredible. They've done a great job with it, and I'm actually more excited to put big Grogu into the pram than little Grogu into the pram, or at least try to stuff big Grogu into that little pram there. So if I had to guess, it's between this and the ARC 170 for which set will be the best seller of the January 2025 lineup, but those are all 6 sets. That's everything there. I'll have reviews out on these sets as soon as possible, so make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see those. Let me know your thoughts on these in the comments section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, and we'll see you later.